Hey friends, it's Mrs. Hebeler here, and today we're going to be continuing to read The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DiCamililo. We are actually starting book the fourth today, called Recalled to the Light. And now we are actually going to see all of our characters kind of coming together. We left off with Mig and Roscuro kind of planning a way to get back at the princess. And we noticed that there was some mouse on a tray listening to everything, but they didn't know that he was there. So I want you guys are thinking about what might happen in our story. We know that Despereaux is in love with the Princess P. We know this is a fairy tale, and we want that good to be evil. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to read chapter 34. It's called Kill 'Em, Even If They's Already Dead. Reader, you did not forget about our small mouse, did you? Back to the light. That was what Gregory whispered to him when he wrapped Despereaux in his napkin and placed him on the tray. And then Mig, after her conversation with Roscuro, carried the tray into the kitchen. And when she saw Cook, she shouted, "It's me, Miggery Sow, back from the deep downs." "Oh, lovely," said the cook, "and ain't we all relieved?" Mig put the tray on the counter. "Here, here," said Cook, "your duties ain't done. You must clear it." "How's that?" shouted Mig. "You must clear the tray," shouted Cook. She reached over and took hold of the napkin and gave it a good shake. And Despereaux tumbled out of the napkin and landed right directly, whop, in a measuring cup full of oil. "Ah!" said Cook. "A mouse in my kitchen, in my cooking oil, in my measuring cup. You, Mig, kill him directly." Mig bent her head and looked at the mouse slowly sinking to the bottom of the glass cup. "Poor little Missy," she said, and she stuck her hand into the oil and pulled him out by his tail. Despereaux, gasping and coughing and blinking at the bright light, could have wept for joy at his rescue. He was not given time to cry. "Kill him!" shouted Cook. "Course," said Mig. "All right." Holding Despereaux by the tail, she went to get the kitchen knife. But the mouse tail, covered as it was in oil, was slick and difficult to hold on to, and Mig, reaching for the knife, loosened her grip, and Despereaux fell to the floor. Mig looked down at the little bundle of brown fur. "Gosh," she said, "that killed him for sure." "Kill him even if he's already dead," shouted Cook. "That's my philosophy with mice. If they're alive, kill them. If they're dead, kill them. That way you can be certain of having yourself a dead mouse, which is the only kind of mouse to have." "That's some good prophecy. That is, kill 'em, even if they's already dead." "Hurry, you cauliflower-eared fool," shouted Cook. "Hurry." Despereaux lifted his head from the floor. The afternoon sun was shining through the large kitchen window. He had time to think how miraculous the light was, and then it disappeared and Meg's face loomed into view. She studied him, breathing through her mouth. "Little Missy," she said, "ain't you going to skedaddle?" Despereaux looked for a long moment into Meg's small, concerned eyes, and then there came a blinding flash and the sound of metal moving through air as Mig brought the kitchen knife down, down, down. Despereaux felt a very intense pain in his hindquarters. He leapt up and into action. Reader, he scurried. He scurried like a professional mouse. He zigged to the left. He zagged to the right. "Gosh," shouted Mig, "missed him." "Ain't that a surprise," said Cook, just as Despereaux scurried under a crack in the pantry door. "I got the little Missy's tail, though," said Mig. She bent over and picked up Despereaux's tail and held it up, proudly displaying it to the cook. "So," shouted Cook, "what good will that do when the rest of them has disappeared into the pantry?" "I don't know," said Meg. And she braced herself as Cook advanced upon her, intending to give her a good whack to the ear. "I don't know." Chapter 35, The Knight in Shining Armor. Despereaux was pondering the reverse of that question. He was wondering not what he would do with his tail, but what would he do without it? He was sitting on a bag of flour high atop a shelf in the pantry, crying for what he had lost. The pain in his hindquarters was intense, and he wept because of it. But he also cried because he was happy. He was out of the dungeon. He had been recalled to life. His rescue had happened just in time for him to save the Princess Pea from the terrible fate that the rat had planned for her. So Despereaux wept with joy and with pain and with gratitude. He wept with exhaustion and despair and hope. He wept with all the emotions a young, small mouse who had been sent to death and then been delivered from it in time to save his beloved could feel. Reader, the mouse wept. And then he lay down on the sack of flour and slept. Outside the castle, the sun set and the stars came out one by one, and then they disappeared and gave way to the rising sun, and still Despereaux slept. And while he slept, he dreamt. He dreamt of the stained glass windows and the dark of the dungeon. In Despereaux's dream, the light came to life, brilliant and glorious, in the shape of a knight swinging a sword. The knight fought the dark. And the dark took many shapes. First, the dark was his mother, uttering phrases in French. And then the dark became his father, beating the drum. The dark was Furlough, wearing a black hood and shaking his head no. And the dark became a huge rat, smiling a smile that was evil and sharp. The dark, Despereaux cried, turning his head to the left. The light, he murmured, turning his head to the right. He called out to the knight. He shouted, "Who are you? Who will save me?" But the knight did not answer him. "Tell me, who are you?" Despereaux shouted. The knight stopped swinging his sword. He looked at Despereaux. "You know me," he said. "No," said Despereaux, "I don't." "You do," said the knight. He slowly took the armor off his head and revealed nothing. No one. The suit of armor was empty. "No, no, no," said Despereaux. "There is no knight in shining armor. It's all just make-believe, like happily ever after." And in his sleep, reader, the mouse began to cry. And that's where we're going to leave it today. I can't wait to see you here next time. Bye, guys.